Hi, I'm Sync. I'm a Geometry Dash moderator who sends levels to the man upstairs. The era of the skeleton is over. Geometry Dash has a new event level after a month of Skeletal Shenanigans becoming the most popular and loved level of 2025. Now, when I'm not looking at furries online, I look at comment sections in Geometry Dash, and the comments on this new event level show that an interesting controversy is brewing. RobTop, the creator of Geometry Dash, gave this level the highest distinction in the game, Mythic, just like he did with the previous event level, Skeletal Shenanigans. Usually people celebrate Mythic levels, but instead commenters got angry. I've seen so many comments calling this level not Mythic worthy and not as good as Skeletal. So you might be wondering, why are people so angry about this Mythic event level, Backbeat Revenge by Darwin, anyways? I have 3 very good reasons why people are upset, each of which are genuinely more surprising than the last. The last one is actually something I've never seen anyone other than mods talk about before. So strap in and take a look at this wonderful controversy. Oh, also, comment down below what level you want me to look at next time. Also, subscribe and like while you're down there so this could be shown to more people. On to the first reason. Reason 1, people are not used to this style at all. Okay, so most mythics are made in one specific style, that being art, generally. Now, art is just quite easy to give high ratings to. I mean, it is very easy to look at a good art level and say, wow, this art is amazing. I think it should be mythic worthy. Now, think about, say, gameplay. How can you decipher what mythic-worthy gameplay is? How can you decipher what mythic-worthy, say, block design is? It's just hard to figure out. It's way easier with art. Now, before you yell at me, I know art is not the only style that gets mythic, but having a lot of art levels getting mythic kind of sets a standard, especially since we have so few mythics. These angry commenters might just be thinking, well, levels must have a certain quality of art deco to be a mythic level. And Backbeat Revenge, unequivocally, does not have much art. Well, beyond that one skull thing, but that's about it. The level instead focuses more on gameplay, sync, pulses, and block design. These aren't really concepts that are focused on as the main focal point of many mythic levels, because most of them either focus on executing a really impressive idea or by making super impressive art. So in a way, some people are angry it got mythic because it doesn't really live up to what the standards of a mythic level should be in their minds, because most mythics we have are simply art. It doesn't help that Backstreet is the event level right after Skeletal Shenanigans, which arguably not only has incredible art, but also excellent execution of said art, with genuinely amazing keyframe movements. I'd personally argue that while Backstreet doesn't necessarily excel in, say, the art department, it genuinely does pull off its weight in terms of progression and gameplay. There's really only one part of the level that I didn't really like the gameplay in, that being the part where the camera switches back and forth at 70%. That annoyed me. And the level genuinely does feel like a journey. It's almost like it gets more intense as it goes on. Like at the start, you kind of feel like you're in this wide open, vast area, but by the end, you have this super flashy wave section as the song gets more and more intense, and I really like the contrast between the start and the end. Now, unfortunately, this intensity was matched with a certain decoration idea that many people have complained about, that being reason 2, flashing and epilepsy. Okay, I was bound to talk about it eventually. This level flashes a lot, like an excessive amount. To be fair, I didn't really notice or care about the flashes when I played through Backstreet, and I'm personally sensitive to flashes, actually, but honestly, I've seen a lot of complaints about it from people who don't usually get sensitive to lights and flashing and whatever. So obviously it's some sort of an issue, although I still think y'all have weak eyes. Now, usually I'd say like, suck it up, buddy, just don't play the level. But I admit it's an event level. You gotta play it to get the secret gold keys to unlock special icons and stuff. So people kinda have to play it to get the achievements. Realistically, if flashing is an issue, there should be some way to toggle it off for accessibility's sake. Luckily, this fix is free-ish. I'd say like make an LDM or something that reduces the flashes, or even make a key that you can grab that reduces the flashes. However, one thing might not be fixed, that being the third and final reason, the biggest reason why this level is mythic, and probably why people are angry the most. It's the reason that I talked about that was secret, and that no one has ever talked about before. That being reason 3, secrecy and the shadow drop. Now, what is the shadow drop? Well, did anybody know this level was gonna come out beforehand? No, no one knew. Maybe like 3 or 4 people knew. Let me explain. Rob is the end-all be-all for mythics. he basically decides what rating a level will get when it drops. Most times, Rob has these little stats he can look at, like he can look at what mods sent the level for, or what people are commenting, or this or that. He can kind of guesstimate what the community and the mod team thinks. What happens if he just rates the level immediately, before anyone plays it, before the community comments about it, before mods give sends on it? Well, honestly, he probably either has a few people he talks to, or maybe he just wings it. And if he does wing it, that would explain why sometimes there are weird ratings. Let's go a little bit back to what I think is the most controversial mythic, that being Button Masher. When Button Masher was released, it was like the last event level, and it got rated immediately. Rob was probably guessing there too. Rob probably thought, oh, well, I think it's mythic, so just give it mythic. And that caused a lot of controversy. People said it was biased, people said it wasn't deserved, and it's yet another case where Rob guessing leads to some sort of controversy. Now, you might be pointing at me and saying, aha, it's RobTop's fault, but it's not really a it's RobTop's fault thing either. If you ask any person to like re-rate all of the most recent legendaries and mythics to what they thought they should be, they would give wonky ratings too. It's kind of just a symptom of being forced to keep the level secret. What would you do if you had to keep a level secret? You can't just ask the community how good the level is, because that would spoil the secret. And you're obviously going to have less people giving opinions on the level, or else the secret level is going to be revealed. Like, it would have been kind of underwhelming if we already knew what the level was going to be like before we saw it. It's more fun for it to be a surprise. Basically, what I'm saying is, since this was a secret drop with a secret level and a secret song, they couldn't really reveal the level to that many people. So there probably were less playtesters and less people willing to give their own ratings and opinions on it. Now, I do think there's a solution to all of this, probably. Honestly, I think event levels should first of all have a respectable group of playtesters before the levels drop. This also might actually be a thing now, because the last two event levels have had moderately good gameplay. But regardless, I think playtesters would be super helpful generally. Playtesters could easily say like, bro, this is an easy mythic, or this might be legendary, in a playtesting group chat, as kind of a snapshot of how the community would react. It really could save Rob from controversy, and maybe the playtesters would have even caught the flashing issue beforehand. I don't know. Secondly, I still think levels that Rob has to rate immediately, like event levels, should have a chance to have its rating changed in the future. Realistically, Backbeat Revenge could have started as an epic rate, then after Rob sees some community feedback, he could have bumped it up to legendary. It's just a bit weird that we are kind of restricted to levels are the same rating after they release. And honestly, I feel like a lot of problems with rates could be solved if Rob just started off with lower ratings and then bumped the rates up afterwards. But I don't know, Rob has a lot of levels to go through. It would probably be a pain to track. But all in all, this is entirely my opinion, not an opinion representative of mods or the mod team. So other mods could have different views on all of this. In the end, I really don't think Backbeat Revenge getting mythic is a bad thing. I do think there are other levels that aren't mythic that are better than Backbeat, but to be fair, everyone thinks their levels should be like mythic. I do really think that the flashing issue is something that should be addressed, especially since it's an event level and a lot of people are going to end up playing it. But other than that, I don't see a problem with it being mythic. And ratings are just what Rob thinks of a level at a given time. It literally has fluctuated from day to day before. And while I do think some tweaks could be made to the rating system to avoid controversies like this getting mythic, I don't think it's the end of the world either.